welcome. We are on day 2 of the Polynesian quilt follow along. I have provided as much as I can for you, free of charge. All you have to do is follow along. Kits are available if you're interested. I have my web address here, and I have my my YouTube channel right here at the bottom. So feel free to email me if you're interested in the kit. Well, hey, Miss Sheila, welcome. Glad to see you back on. Yay! So at least I have one following. Okay, let me pull up my, let me pull me up this way. See, I tried really hard to be ready and still managed to forget something. Oh, yeah, here we are. Okay. You know, it seems like my lag compared to everybody else's is a lot shorter or a lot longer. And it doesn't matter what I'm on, if I am on my own or I'm on someone else's. Hey, Miss Kathy, welcome. All right, so I just kind of wanted to go over our blocks for yesterday. So this was one that we did. And again, your blocks are not going to look necessarily just like mine when it comes to the focus, because maybe you chose a different focus, okay? And this one actually has Polynesia in the title of it. I was kind of excited about that. I was able to include that. So when I cut a quilt for you, I tried to make sure that I gave you as much, hey Miss Susan, as much of the panel as possible, because in actuality, to cut one panel from another panel, you cut right through the title. So I pretty much gave you extra of the panel just to make sure that you got at least enough to get the whole title if you wanted the whole title in it. And I did on that one. This was the other one we did yesterday. I love these. I think they turned out great. Even though they're not the focus one that originally I was looking at that I kind of liked, the more I looked at it, the more I liked the panel better. And that was the fourth one. I know I had a couple people send me messages saying that they really liked their focus and that they might go ahead and include a few extras. I was actually thinking that if you wanted to make this more of a lap blanket or even a twin, you could add a few extra rows in it of any of the focus fabric, or even the stars that we're going to be working on in the next 2 days. You could add more of those and just make it a little bit longer. Now, I'm not sure if you'll have enough border, probably, but not sure if you'd have enough border that I sent with the kits to do any longer or wider, but I know you have enough to do at least what I got for you. Which, speaking of borders, while I'm talking about it, the borders are the pale yellow and the dark blue. So you want to make sure whatever color you're using for that, go ahead and cut that. And the way I cut mine was I did it with the fabric. So it was the pale yellow is the 2.5, which is going to be finished at 2. So a 2.5 cut with the fabric 5 times. So you need 5 of those. And then the blue, the dark blue, was the with the fabric cut 6 times. And 6 just does it. Well, hello, Miss Thielen. I'm probably not pronouncing that properly, but thank you so much. Miss Beelan has been on the YouTube channel looking at pretty much all of the videos and commenting even. I even have comments. Yay! Thank you so much, Miss Beelan. Comments about the videos. Thank you so much. It is so encouraging. You guys just don't, you probably do understand, but it is so encouraging to me when someone makes a comment and says, you know, how much they like it, if they like the colors. You know, if there's something you don't like about it, it's okay to even mention that. You know, just do it in kindness. You know, anytime, you can always tell something that's not pleasant in a kind way, and it comes off so much easier and so much better. And I like critique. I like to hear back from people about, you know, well, you know, I've seen it done this way, or I've seen it done that way. Doesn't mean I'm going to change, but it does mean I'm going to take a look at it and see if I can't find a better way to do it. So, but thank you so much for all your encouraging words and everything. And she is from Buenos Aires. Thank you so much. We love having you on. I don't know what time it is there, but I hope you're not staying up too late for this. Okay. So, as you know, I have been trying to post videos to show you how to cut it, where to cut it. I've put templates online through the post. I've put them through emails. I've sent out at least 4 emails to give you the right templates you need. if you download the emails, hello, Miss Jennifer. Jennifer's my cousin. I hardly ever get to see her, but I did get to see her once when her son graduated. Try to understand my first language is Spanish, but studied English. So, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I do talk fast. I don't know what else to tell you about that. I tend to, especially if I get nervous, and no matter what, anytime I'm in front of people, I do get nervous. I can't help it. Let me get that off of there just so I can see a little better. Okay, so as I was saying, I have tried to provide the templates to you. They're free of charge. I try to get them out there to you. So last night, I did a video, and it was late, and I had a lot of editing, so it took me 2 hours. First time I've ever edited a video. It took me 2 hours to do it, edit it, and get it up. So it is up about how to cut this, and it's all about the templates. The first ones are easy. These were the big ones. The 12 by 7/8 inch, I believe, was the size for these. And you just basically cut them in half from corner to corner, creating 4 triangles. This will create, I'll come on over here. I have my iron in front of it. Let's see if I can get a little bit of picture here. Okay. So these triangles right here create this right there. Okay, so it's pretty much half of the triangle. The other pieces right here require templates because of the way they were cut. It was just easier to cut it from a template than it was to try to cut it by saying, okay, go 2/3 down here and then mark here. So here were the templates that we used last night. Okay, and if you didn't get it cut, you can go ahead and start cutting now and follow us along later, or hopefully you did. I'm kind of hoping. Oh, thank you, Miss Beelin. And I'm old Southern. Even though I only spent about 25 years in the true South, South Carolina, and there I learned that to be polite and to use your manners, everybody was Mr. and Miss. So you call them Mr. and Miss and by their first name. So it was Miss Donna, Mr. David. So you'll find that oftentimes I will call people by Miss Sheila, Miss Donna, Miss. So just know that it's just because I'm not being snide or anything, it is considered using good manners in the South, and that's one of the things I carried with me, even though I didn't get to bring my twang back with me. I'm kind of glad you guys don't get to hear the twang, because it got really thick there for a while. Okay, so we have 4 of these. This is the dark blue fabric cut from here. They're originally 6.5 by 6.5, so if you cut your squares 6.5, it just made it easier when you had to cut them out of here. So 4 of those. 8 of these, you needed 4 of the B and 4 of the E. Now, really all that means is that one of them is going to go this way and one of them is going to go this way. So if you sandwiched your fabric, you know, right sides together or wrong sides together, and you cut it, you were actually cutting a B and an E. So if you layered them like that and then cut it, you should be fine. Okay, and which is what I did in the video last night. So I got to sort those out here in just a minute. And these pretty much are straight up. You're going to have 8 of these in the light blue, and they are literally a triangle. Both of these sides are 63 degrees, and I don't remember what the degree was on this one. Excuse me. A little coffee stuff there in my throat. So these are the 3 pieces that we will be putting together, and we're going to start with this lovely piece right here. Now the 2 blocks that we're doing, today's block and yesterday's block, were the 2 easiest blocks. Tomorrow it gets a little more complicated. I have already sent out emails for the blocks for tomorrow, so you can go ahead and get started on cutting and have them ready. After we're done with this, I will start on the next video for the cutting, just so that you will have that available if you'd rather wait and just watch the cutting video. It's pretty much straight up. The templates help you again. The blocks that are I think these are like 2 5/8 by 5 and something. Anyways, they're going to get cut from here to here, but this will create 2, one here and one here, of the blocks you need. Okay, so once you cut these apart, don't just throw the other half away. You're going to need it. Okay, that's for tomorrow's block. Alrighty, how we doing? Hey, Miss Janice, welcome. So glad you are on. And by the way, don't forget, we still have these for sale. These are the clappers or the pressing boards. They are made by some of our local ladies here, and any money that comes in for these goes straight to the ladies. It does not come to me. I don't get any portion of this. They're shipping. I sell them on Etsy, and so I did have to bump the price a little bit because Etsy raised their prices just on how much they charge us, especially if they go from like Facebook or whatever. They charge a little bit more for that. Actually, I was kind of surprised at how much more they charge. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So remember to go on my Etsy site. My Etsy site is SRQ Quilters. I think it's with an S. If it's not, just look under SRQ Quilter and see if you can locate it that way. By the way, I did manage to, ta-da! This is actually backwards. And looking at it backwards, it looks terrible. It's like, oh wow, how can people even read that? And then when I look at it through the camera, it actually looks really good. I can't believe it worked. Okay, so got that done finally. All right, ladies, let's get started. I'm kind of rambling on just because this is probably the only two blocks that I'll be able to ramble a lot. The other two are going to take us a while, and they're probably going to take more than an hour. Although I did notice yesterday's went a little bit longer than an hour. Thanks for the double-faced tape idea. New to me. Really? Oh, man. Miss Sheila, I love that double stick tape. I actually bought like 4 rolls of it. And unfortunately, I keep putting it down and then can't find it again. Put it down, can't find it again. So I go through all 4 rolls really quickly, but that's just because I keep losing my tape. And it probably has absolutely nothing to do with the little 6-year-old that keeps running around here. In fact, she loves tape. I have tape all over my house. There's tape on my walls. There's tape on the floors. There's tape on my table. There's tape places I didn't know you could put tape. It's all right. She's a sweetie. I love her to death. Or life. Okay. So the best thing to do is to go ahead and lay out your middle ones, these right here, just so you can find out which way is up and which side is down. Okay, this is going to require some glasses. Alrighty. Let's see here. You know, sometimes I can tell, and sometimes I can't. And for some reason today, I can't tell. Kind of both look about the same. Okay, so we have these 4 right here set up just like this. I have my sewing machine is ready. I probably should have changed the bobbin because I did a lot of sewing yesterday. I don't know if any of you purchased the quarantine soup from Miss Jerry, Quilters Quarters, QTRS, Quilters, QTRS.com. But I got the quarantine soup. Actually, I think she gave it to me. And I've been working on it the last couple of days, and it is so fun. It's such a cute little pattern, but it actually takes a little bit of time. You definitely don't want to rush through that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I know that, let me see if I can find my pattern here. Here it is. And a tissue. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So I know that I'm going to need the 2 light blues next to my dark blue. So I'm going to pull out 2 and find their face up if I can. And just kind of lay them out so I know which ones are which. And I'll be honest, I love batik, but it is so hard to tell. And I know I've lamented about this before, but it's so beautiful. It's one of those things you just have to put up with. Okay, getting there. As a retired teacher, I had it in my stash. Oh, good. Guild friends, I saw Posey today. She's doing well and misses everyone. Oh, that's good. It was something not well with Miss Posey? I haven't seen anybody lately. Although I am staying on top of guild business. I just want everybody to know we are all in very good standing with pretty much everything, I think. Okay. I know that's a little scary when one of your guild people says, I think I'm on there. I think I'm up with it. Okay. So basically it's going to wind up going like this. We're going to put point to point and edge to edge. I know the first time I put one of these together, I looked at this and thought, oh no, I did it wrong. But it is as close as you are going to get. And so remember we talked about those dog ears. So you want to make sure that you're getting those dog ears together. All right, so I'm going to flip this around. Let's take a quick look here. Okay, now you see how this is up and over the top, You want that, okay? You need that to be at least 1/4 of an inch. That this spot right here, that spot right there is 1/4 of an inch from the edge. If it's not, then slide this down just a little bit more, okay? So let me give that a quick measure. Find my little handy dandy ruler over here. Okay. Now, I'd like to tell you that you don't have to be precise, but really, if you want this to look good, if you want it to look right, you're going to keep up with that 1/4 of an inch seam. It's important. And especially for all those new people that are learning their way, this is a good time to practice staying on target with that 1/4 of an inch. Now, that is 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and I have it right there in the V between the light blue and the dark blue. So you want that V in there, okay? And this is why making sure you put the dog ears in those, on these pieces is important, because those dog ears, and I'm probably not saying it right, but those are what's going to help us keep this all in line. Oh, good. Miss Debbie's doing well. Good. Okay. Okay, good. So everybody's just staying home and doing, you know, that is great to hear. I am so happy. All right, so let's go ahead and take a moment, and we're going to, let's go ahead and do all 4 blocks. And I'm going to pin this just to make sure that it doesn't slide around on me, because it will. Inevitably they do. What I would say is go ahead and do from one corner, do the same corner on every single one. So if I'm doing my left corner or my right corner, I'm going to do all of the left corners, all of the right corners first, then go back and do the other one. And if you have to keep measuring just to make sure you're getting that 1/4 of an inch, keep measuring, keep using it. In fact, I'm finding that they really are coming all the way down to the end, at the very bottom right here, that they really are coming down and meeting up at the bottom. So, and that is really good. It means the measure that the template did really well. And the ones I send you in the email are really, really easy, because the way I copy them is exactly the way I have them in my hand. So it's just a matter of whether or not your copier is, you know, enlarges it slightly, or, you know, zooms out on you a little bit. In. Okay. Short one. So how did it go last night? Did everybody get all their blocks done? That's 3, one more to go. And I'm going to leave the others laying out right here, because then I know that they're face up, and then I can keep stitching from there. Now the good thing about this is, with this batiks, if I have it wrong and I have wrong side up, it's actually okay, because you really can't tell. The wrong side up and right side up all look about the same. So no big deal. Although while I was working on my quarantine quilt, I did realize that one of my blocks, I actually put the background fabric on upside down. And I thought, well, I'm just going to let it go. And you know what? I could not hack it. I actually had to go back, rip that one little square out, and then re-sew it in just to that one section. You guys never have that though, right? You never have those kind of problems. Okay, I'm going to see if I can put this right here at the bottom, just so in case you need to send me an email. And like I said, I would really, really love to be able to send you the templates that I have already, you know, scanned to a PDF file. So if you'd prefer to have those, I can put you on my list of people that I'm sending those to on a daily basis. And of course, this is only a 4-day quilt, but we are actually probably going to go 5 to 6 days. So we'll probably finish up by next Tuesday. Only because we still have the border to do on this as well. And I just want to make sure I give plenty of time for us to be able to accomplish it all. Okay? All right. So I'm going to do the first one. Let's see if you can, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And we started right at that 1/4 of an inch. I'm pulling my pin. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this open so that we can take a look at that very first one and see how it looks. Okay, and then when we get down to the next part of the block, I'll iron it open, and we'll see how that one goes. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. There is my ironing board. Normally, you would iron to the dark side, and you can still do that with this. You should be ironing to the dark side, but there are going to come a point where you may have to iron in the other direction. All right, now if you look at that, we have the very good beginnings of a point at this end, okay, and a nice straight line down here, and that's what keeping with that 1/4 of an inch seam will definitely help you have a really nice edge all the way around, and you won't have to do a lot of sizing up and down, you know, squaring up your block, as we usually say. All right, come on over. Let's go ahead and finish up those other 3, and then we'll get started on the second part of it. And we can do this as a chain. Let's see who else we have on here. Anybody? I can't tell. So I'd love to hear from you. So if you are on and I haven't greeted you, please feel free to chime in and say hello. I'd love to hear from you. Find out where you're at. Where you are. Sorry, Miss Sheila. My retired school teacher is on, and I have to make sure I use proper English, and my husband always gets on me about using a preposition at the end of a sentence. Don't know why I keep doing it. I know it's not right, but I keep doing it anyways. So what do they say? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. Okay. That is all 3 of them. We're going to just snip them apart, snip, snip. And when I was working on my quarantine quilts from Miss Jerry, I also was using my little purple thingy, which they call that the cutting gizmo. And I'm going to tell you what, I had like 32, 34 different blocks that I was putting together at any one time. And that thing really came in handy. So God bless whoever invented that thing. All right. What I do is I put it the dark side up, and I just flip it over, run my fingers along that seam, and then just give it a little bit of an iron. Light side down, flip over this side. And if you like my ironing board, Miss Sheila says it's because I'm a Southern girl. Yeah, you're probably right. Being around all those people there's a lot of people in the South that do that. Their English, not so good. Not so good English in the Southern states. They have their own language is really the whole thing. Even though we all speak the same language, there are so many areas that have their own language, and you have to be careful because you can easily insult someone by using the wrong Southern slang. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a moment and pin the other ones on now. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the right side, and we're going to put it down. Give ourselves that 1/4 of an inch. It looks like this one you're going to have to sew from this end. Okay, so that off to the side. Oh, let me turn it down just a little bit so you can see better. Sorry about that, ladies, and any gentlemen that are out there. All right. Y'all, I'm excited. I've already done this quilt probably 3 times, but this is the first time I'm using the actual intended fabric for it, and I cannot wait to see what it looks like. I am just all kinds of excited. And I'm excited because I got to see some of your blocks last night on there. So some of you went ahead and did your blocks last night or yesterday and posted them. So please, 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 on my SRQ site, go ahead and post them. You guys, that is so encouraging to me. I look forward to that. Seeing all those things. And you know, you guys have helped me so much because I have stretched and done things I have never stretched before. I mean, I've done a star block before, but not like this. And you know, sharing it with other people, you know, I love that. But before the Facebook Live, I've really not had that kind of opportunity. And so I'm, you know, kudos to Facebook for doing that. And now so many other people are jumping on. You know, even YouTube has a live, the way to do it live, which is kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to venture into that, but we'll see. Especially since I pretty much upload all of my videos to YouTube. Oh, and make sure you subscribe, because every time I do a video, it will let you know that another one of my videos came out. At least that's what I understand anyways, that another one of my videos are out, so that if I have a video that you guys are following, then you'll be able to know firsthand when it gets loaded up, okay? So make sure you get on my SRQ Quilters YouTube page and make sure you subscribe, okay? And please give me feedback on it. Now keep in mind, I'm still new at this video stuff. I just found the video editor program, the free one that's on there, and it went great, but it was not the easiest thing I ever did. So give me feedback, but again, be gentle. Be gentle. I'm trying. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put these on. Let's see. Make sure that stays out of the way. If it gets in the way, you let me know, okay? Because I will kick it off the table. I just like being able to give you the information you need to be able to get in touch with me if you need to. I'm going to try and be a good girl and pull my pins early. You know, they say one of the best ways to learn how to do something is to teach it. You would think that that would not necessarily be the case, but I know I've shared this before. When they talked me into being a teacher at a small Christian school, I didn't understand. I didn't know their curriculum, so I had to go through and take all of their curriculum. I had to go through every part of it. They assigned me everybody's work, just like as if I was one of the students. And I want you to know I had the best time doing that. So if ever you want to really get in there and get your hands dirty, then teach, because it is amazing. Especially when it's something you want to do. Most school kids cannot wait to get out of school, but I'm going to tell you what, I couldn't wait for it to start, because I knew I was going to get some new paces and some new things I got to learn. So, and this, to me, this is the same thing. So by teaching you, I'm learning new stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, keep it coming. All right, we're going down to the last one. Oh, and by the way, hello, Miss Jerry. Welcome. Glad you made it on again today. Okay. So I'm going to snip these apart real quick. Snip, snip, snip. And I love the chain piecing stuff. And this, you know, for me, this really kind of just makes all the difference. I love it. Because I can do them all at one time. And for me, when I can mass do something, I like it. You know, I've made masks for friends and family. And I'm not going to lie, those things take forever. Especially the really nice ones. And so if I can make more than one at a time, then it's easier for me. It's when I have to do one for this person or one for that person, and then it's like I can spend all day working on one mask. So not very easy. Okay, once again we're going to iron to the dark side, and I will be honest, I have really liked doing the seams open, and I find myself doing that more and more, ironing my seams open. I know that there are some very good reasons why you want to iron them all to the dark side, but I really like the way it looks. I like the way it creates this line, this straight line, so you can really see and tell where you're going to be putting, you know, your seams together. I did that a lot with that quarantine quilt that Jerry, you know, did this last time, and I really like the way it looks. Okay, you know, I think this one might turn out even better than the last one. All right, Sweetie is home from the post office. My husband just keeps going to the post office for me. Every time I have something I have to mail, and it seems like I have something at least just about every day, which is kind of nice. And there's the dog making her usual welcome home, and I can't wait for you to pay attention to me noises. Okay, give me just a second. I need my tissue. I took my sinus medicine this morning, but I'm still finding them kind of sinusy. All right, so let me split my blocks apart here. Thank you, dear. I'll take that. And that's my clock on the wall. I don't know if you can hear that. I know I was listening to it last night, and they seemed to be so loud last night while I was on my video, and yet when I was doing the editing on my video, they weren't loud at all. So I don't know what the deal was. Should be this one goes here, and this one goes here, and this one goes here, because of the way I cut it last night. If you watch the video, basically I'd sandwiched my pieces, so when I cut the B, I was actually cutting a B and an E at the same time. So that's the way this should work out. I should have half of them up and half of them down. All right. Now let's see. Again, I'm going to do mine from the right, start the right side first, and oh, not that one. I'm going to start with this side. So how this is going to work is you're going to take this side for the right side. So what's up is the right one. Well, let me see. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So this piece and this piece are going to go together like this. Okay? And then when we do the other side, it's going to go together like this, which is going to create that half of a triangle. And then we're going to use the accent color to put the whole block together. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is for my right side. This is for my left side. Right, left. Okay. We're going to, again, following that 1/4 of an inch from the top. Okay, and as soon as I'm done getting this on here, I'm going to show you what I got here. And yeah, take your time with this. Don't rush through it. Okay, so I've pinned this together. Now if you look, I got my 1/4 of an inch here. So my 1/4 inch is going to start right there at that V, right here. Okay, and if you look all the way down here, it's going to end at a 1/4 of an inch right here. I got to pin it. Looking at it from the back side, I can see it better. But see, there's a little notch right there where we used the template to dog ear it. That's where, oh, well, actually, in actuality, we cut the dog ear off, showing us where to end it. And you might want to take a peek on the back side before you start stitching, because when I just looked on mine, I saw how off it was. So make sure you're paying attention to the front and the back, okay? All right, so I'm going to stitch this first one, and then I'll iron it open, and then we can take a look at it and see how it went. I'm putting my needle right into that V, pulling my pin. All right. When I bought my Martelli table, he told me that it would come with one of those little cup holders. I love that little cup holder. That thing is so stinking handy. You know, I got one from like Wish or something, and it was just a little clip-on thing with a little cup holder on there. Doesn't hold anything. If you put anything in, it'll come right off. So I thought, well, you know, it's gravity, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you what, when I got my Martelli one in and I started using it, I was amazed. I was just absolutely amazed. I love it. Okay. So here, I'm actually going to iron this towards the yellow one, only because we're starting to get a little bit of bulk right here at the very end, and so I want to try to alleviate as much of that bulk right now as I can. All right, so if we're looking, look at that line straight down, no trimming. There's been no trimming here. That looks really good, and all that is just making sure you're lining up where you're going to start your needle at 1/4 of an inch. Create a little V with the fabric that you're placing on there. All right, so let's go ahead and take all of them and do all of that same side, whatever side you're working on. So somebody was telling me that they went to a class the other day online, and the lady that was doing the class actually had a playlist that she uses, and you can follow her playlist while doing her class. I think that is ingenious. I love it. I don't have a playlist. I will have to try and put one together, and then invite you to play it along with me. So we'll have to see. I thought I was doing really good with the video program, video editor, so we'll have to see how the rest goes. Okay, that's one. I know some of you are probably interested. Well, hey, Miss Debbie, welcome. Probably interested. I heard from Nicole. They're starting to open up some of the international flights. I don't think she's been able to book one yet, but she is definitely looking into it, and hopefully she will have some information for me soon as to when she can make her way back home. And trust me, we are very happy to have her home when she gets here. Okay. So Miss Debbie, I was thinking about you today. Thinking about that first class I want to put together for you. That is the right Miss Debbie, right? So sorry. Sometimes I get so messed up on who's who and where's where. But I was sure it was Miss Debbie. Okay, I'm going to just kind of wiggle this over just a little bit. There we go. Ooh, got a whole bunch of thread in there. Let's get that out of the way before it gets caught. Okay. And if I pull my thread up before I start, I find that that really does make a difference, especially with the thread bunching up on the back. But I don't always do it. You know, sometimes I can be so lazy about these things. And I think that's another reason I like the chain piecing, because it's already in rows, so you just keep on going. And I do love this block, and I think I might later on do something really interesting with this in the future. Hopefully the very near future. I'd love to see some other stuff from this block. This Maltese block is really kind of cool. Okay, so if you notice when you get to the end and you sew off the end, you're actually sewing right off to that little point right there. So when you trim the two sides this way and this way with the template, it sews off right at the very tip, which is kind of neat, because then you know you're right on track. So sewing with a template is actually kind of nice, even if it is just a paper template. I kind of wish I had Miss Carol Shaw's templates that she does, because you can, you know, use your rotary cutter with it. You can iron with it. Now I think you still have to use you know, a ruler, but those things are so sturdy. I don't even know what that material is, especially since you can iron over it. That was Miss Carol Shaw, wasn't it? Miss Debbie, you just let me know when you're ready, because I got some ideas on what we're going to do first. Well, first thing is just go ahead and study those definitions and those terminologies, because those are the one things that will trip you up every time. Just ask me, I can tell you. I get tripped up on the terminology all the time. So get a good handle on the terminology, and then we're going to, when you're ready, because you said you weren't ready yet, but when you're ready, you let me know, and I will send on your first lesson. And I'm looking forward to it. And if anybody else is a beginner, brand new, and you want to start off with something easy, or just a few lessons, it's not going to be anything intricate. We're not going to start off with a quilt. We're going to start off with very simple stuff, you know, learning what a good stitch makes, what it looks like, how to make it, you know, things like that, okay? So I'm looking forward to it, and I know that anybody else that's interested, I am happy to include you in any of the classes. Right now, Miss Debbie is my first beginner student. Beginner of beginners. Okay. Just want to make sure I get this. I'm taking my time and making sure it's on there just right. And you're kind of matching this up with the fabric that's underneath it, not so much with the one you just stitched on. I'm referring to, here, let me see if I can get a little bit closer. Oh yeah, not that close. Turn it. Okay. So if you can see what I'm doing here, maybe you can. So right here is the fabric that we're putting it down, and it's not quite, let's see, put it on here, that way I can turn it up. Okay, so if you look, and you follow that line right here, it's going to end at the first fabric that's underneath it, not necessarily at this fabric, okay? And that's a good thing, because we want to make sure that we're staying within 1/4 inch. All right? How's that? Okay. Let's see if I got it out far enough. There we go. Hello. I'm back. Okay. Get that out of my way. And take your time. Don't be in a hurry to get through this. Wow. How did I do that? That was really off. Yep, there we go. You know, when they say measure once, measure twice, cut once, it's the same for this. You want to make sure that you're taking your time and you're rechecking it, because you may think you have it down exactly where you want it, but then when you stitch it and you open up, you're like, oh, it must have slipped. It slipped a little bit. Life has been interfered with my plans. Absolutely, Miss Debbie. You cannot go wrong doing that. Those terms are so important. It's hard to believe. I did not do that. I did not learn the terminology. I was very much learned it as I went, and there's nothing wrong with that. There isn't. But if you can help yourself by learning the terminology, it will make it so much easier. When I first started sewing, I'm on a bulk, a little bit of a bulk there. When I first started sewing, it was clothing, and I didn't understand about the seam allowance. I didn't understand about the grain line and the bias, and none of that made sense. And when they talked about nap, I was really lost, because I thought that meant, okay, put it down and go to bed. Take a short one. But I found out much later in life, when working with teddy bears, what the nap was. Although I still like the other nap a lot better. So if you learn the terminology, it does make your life a lot easier. Things make more sense. It'll fall into place a lot easier, and you'll sit there and you'll go, oh yeah, I know what that is. So just do yourself a favor and just keep studying those. Do them until when you say the word. In fact, I was going to try and get you a set of note cards so that you would have something to just keep practicing on. But kind of like all my great plans, some of them just get kind of pushed on the wayside as well. But I never did get around to finishing up those note cards. But just keep studying those terms, okay? And study your machine, you know. Get to know your machine as well. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any gentlemen on here, we have our first half a block. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, it turned out so good. Better than my first ones. Yay. Okay, so let's get right back to it and go ahead and put the other sides on. We still have 3 more to go. And then one more big chunk of block, and then that's it for today. So let's get it moving. What's for dinner? Who's making dinner? I want to know who's making dinner. So yesterday after I got offline, it was your templates didn't work, too small. Miss Faye, what happened? Did they copy out to 1 inch? Because I left a 1 inch guide on there for it so that you knew, that this little piece right here had to be 1 inch. If it wasn't 1 inch, didn't measure 1 inch, then it's the wrong size. Okay. I do apologize. I try really hard to be clear about that stuff, but sometimes it just kind of falls by the wayside. And the other problem is if you don't have a copier that will let you, blow it up or shrink it, then you're going to have a problem with that. But that's why that's why I like the PDF, because most of the times when you open up the PDF, it's an actual 8.5 by 11, and it prints 8.5 by 11. Let me see. I know I got a copy of some of these. Maybe not. All right. Well, on one of my copies that I sent out or copied, I put a little 1 inch piece on the bottom. And again, just look for that 1 inch. If you make a copy of it, and you measure that little piece, that little hand-drawn piece of ink on there, that it should be 1 inch. So, blow it up, go past 100% or go lower than 100% to make it match that 1 inch. And if for some reason my local ladies need me to drop off a copy of it, let me know, and I can always drop it off as well. Okay, oh, there's one. Oh, yeah, I know how that is. Actually, I have a really great printer now. We managed to keep our HP running, and I don't know how, but that thing is great. Plus, we have the HP ink service. So if we run out or start to run out, they just send us another batch of ink, which is great because we just pay like $10 a month, and we get all the ink we need. But it does go by how many copies you make. I mean, I think I have my service set at the highest because my husband loves paper. My husband keeps the paper people in business. So he pretty much copies and prints everything. 3 hole punches it, sticks it in a book, and then we get to go through it, wade through all of his paper later. Let's see, try and get this one right where I want it. But yeah, if you have an HP printer or one of those other ones, Epson's or whatever, have that service, believe it or not, it's really, really great because you don't pay nearly the cost of what you do just to go run one time, even in 3 months to get ink. And they keep up with it through the online app. And it knows when my ink's getting low. It knows when it needs to be changed out. And sometimes they'll send a message and say your ink is getting low. You know, make sure you change out your ink. Probably should go at this from the other end. Another pen up here. You know, I wanted to do a drawing. So let's just say we're going to do a random drawing. I don't know what I'm going to do a drawing for. Actually, I really want to do something of, you know, a few of my favorite things kind of thing. So I have found some interesting items that you may not think would work for sewing, but have been very, very helpful to me. So I was thinking of doing a basket of a few of my favorite things, like maybe a pressing bar. I found one of these. Miss Roberta, a sweetie who is new to sewing, said someone told her to use an eraser when she rips out something, and the eraser helps to just kind of pull all the threads out. Well, that was great because I do love the lint roller, but this thing has worked really great. I found this at one of the stores, and it's some kind of gum eraser that's not really an eraser, but this thing works great, and it'll also let me kind of collect up all the threads that are everywhere. Very, very neat. So I was thinking that would be a great thing to put in that basket. And just a few other items that I think would be, you know, what I would consider a few of my favorite things. So if you would like to go into that drawing for whatever I put in there, there probably will be either some charm pack or maybe a layer cake. I'm not sure yet. There will be fabric in there. Maybe some of my own ink, what was it? Hand dyed, because I have been playing around with hand dyeing. Just go ahead and all you need to do is send me your email to my email. Just send me a little quick hello. I want to be put in your drawing. Okay, that one hit the floor. Hello, I want to be put in your drawing. And when this is over next week, because I mean, at the very minimum, it'll be Monday, because we'll have Friday is the last day for this week, and then we'll go again on Tuesday, not Monday. We'll go again on Tuesday and finish up with the binding. And then that will probably be our last day for this particular quilt. So if you're interested and you would like to go into that drawing, just send me an email, say, hello, I would like to go in your drawing, and I will put your email into the drawing for the little bundle called A Few of My Favorite Things. Okay? All right. And even if I already have your email, just go ahead and do it anyways. All right. I drop those all the time. Okay. Come back over here. We are getting there, ladies and gentlemen. Please, can I give you the quilt that needs quilting? Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, I'd be happy to. I was kind of hoping to have your quilt finished, the one that I still have. I've been working so diligently on that one, and you said take my time, so I guess I kind of did. But yeah, absolutely, I can come by, drop off a set of the printed out set, and pick up the quilt. That would be my pleasure. Give me a chance to get out for a minute. All right, Miss Sheila. Sound like a plan? Ooh, and I can bring you back those that fabric I was looking at for you. That's all a good idea. Okay. All right, ladies. Oh, I'm so excited. These are looking so pretty. I did put them on right, didn't I? Yeah, okay. Every once in a while, I gotta surprise myself, like, oh, did it go right? So I do love these templates. They actually work out really well. Granted, they're paper. You wouldn't think you'd be able to use it, but if you watch the video, you can see how using this with a ruler, it's amazing. It just works out so well. And the double stick tape is really nice too. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1/2 and we're going to match it up. And it ought to match up really, really nicely. Although that bottom one is really, really dark. Hard to see. Okay. So nice, so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay. I'm going to use a pin right here. And right here. Okay, let's go ahead and get this first block done, and then we will go back and do the other ones. Oh, so sorry, come join me over here. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So if you follow along on your 1/4 inch seam, you should hit that V, and you will definitely hear it, but you should hit that V, which will create that little point that quilters are always trying to get to. Having a quilt on point, every point where it's supposed to be, is like a quilter's heaven. All right, I'm definitely gonna put these scissors down. I'll hurt myself with those. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look here real quick first. Ooh, thank goodness. Okay, now again, this is one of those times when I'm going to iron it towards the lighter side, because there's so much bulk on this back side that there's just no way I cannot iron it towards that. And that will happen. Okay, got that one. And got that one. All right, ladies, check it out. Look at my points. Yay! All right, and so that's what that block looks like when it is completed. And this is going to go in each corner. This is going to be the top corner, the very top, and this is going to be heading towards the center, which is just like this. Right there, just like that, okay? All right, so let's finish it up, and then this class session will be over for the day. And the die, oh yeah. Absolutely, yeah, the dies, we talked about that too, didn't we? I've been trying my hand at hand dyeing fabric. My first attempt was actually fairly nice. You always learn something new every time you do that stuff, and I did. I found that the creamy muslin does not work as well as the white, even though I haven't done the white yet. I'm going to put a pin right here in my point just so I know where my point is. But you should run right over it, especially if you had good luck with your templates. But don't worry, if your points are not right on, don't give it a second thought. You know, it really is one of those things where it just takes practice. Just takes practice, so don't lose heart. We are all in that same boat. I'm gonna get this off of here. It's easier if it's laying flat. But again, take your time, line it up. Now we're coming to the end of this session. Does anybody have any questions or they need something? Again, just send me an email if you have a question, or you can ask it right here online.
Good, John. What's up?
If you you need something, of course I have fabric. If you like these fabrics and you would like to do this kit, you can email me. I'll send you an email with an invoice, and pay the invoice, and I will ship it right out to you. Okay? I do actually love these colors. I think these worked out really, really well. And I'm very partial to batiks. If anybody hasn't noticed, I have a lot of batiks.
John, I think...
A lot of batiks.
I think what we intend to do is just take the registrations that we have now and flop them over to August. So if you want me to put you in, I'll just go ahead and put you in now.
Let's see.
Yeah, you can register online. Just go ahead and register. Yeah.
Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Don't get in a hurry with this.
Yeah,
I know so often we have something we want to do. We want to get this last stitch in, but don't worry about that. Just take your time.
We're not getting any until after July, so I guess July
better
1st.
to take your time to do it right than to rush through it and wind up messing it up and have to rip it out. But
if you got,
I have done that plenty.
Are you coming with Howard? Are you going to share a room? Because I would rather.
Hey, Miss Kathy. I see you're back on or still watching. I'm not sure how that works. It just gives me a notification when people pop on. So
yeah,
if I say hey and call out you've been watching, don't worry. It's just because they just notified me that you're still on. I always like making sure I've recognized people.
August. What is it? August 21st. So I know they're there. I talked to them that day and extended mine. All right. Okay, now you're.
One down. May's so cute. She wanders around here at the pool, and we started a garden this year, so she goes out to check in and see how our tomatoes are doing and how the squash is doing, and of course we've had something out there eating up our zucchini. So as many zucchinis as we've had up, something is out there eating away at them. So every night we come out, or every morning we come out, and something from the night before has eaten up whatever zucchinis were out there. Okay. All right, last one, and then we get to put it in a file. I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but I keep I don't know if you can see it behind me, but I keep a little tub that I get. It's I think it's actually meant for scrapbooking, to hold the paper for scrapbooking. but I have found that it is great for holding these 12-inch blocks. And remember, these are going to be 12.5-inch blocks by themselves, but once they're finished, they should measure 12 inches. Once you put them into the quilt, they'll be 12 inches. Okay, hang on just a second. Sorry. And then it wants to slide on me just a little bit. Alrighty. There we go. Now, just because I did my first point right doesn't mean my second one's going to come out right, but we'll find out in a minute. So I can't wait to find out of all the ones that we're doing right now, which blocks are going to be your favorite. So far, my favorite has been the Maltese, the one we're working on right now. I have really found that I like this block. I just feel like it's got such potential to do some really cute things. You all right, honey? Okay. All right, and keep in mind that if you had made a comment that maybe I didn't answer or didn't see, know that I am not ignoring you. Please, please, please email me your question or ask it again. Sometimes Facebook loses comments, or maybe a few comments will all come in at the same time, and it'll get it'll scroll up really quickly and I won't see it. Okay, there's block number 2. You know, I've been kind of going over in my head, what am I going to do about that that log cabin study that I really, really want to do, and I know you guys are excited too. But my problem is that the fabric that I'd wanted to use to help me design it, to put all the pieces together and find out the fabric requirement, they're not coming in. They're not coming in until July. So what I was thinking is doing a coordinated color. So maybe doing it in red and greens, or yellow and purples, or, you know, something like that. I have plenty of greens. I have quite a few reds, and I don't want to say I have a lot of blues because I really don't think I do. For some reason, I wound up with a lot of greens. So I'm thinking about doing that, and then just using those colors for so that I have something to do the fabric requirements against. And it just, I don't know if you've ever seen a log cabin. There's a lot of fabric in a log cabin. A lot as far as lots of little pieces. So you don't actually require a lot of fabric. It just requires a lot of different fabrics. Unless you're going to do just like 2 or 3 different colors, and then that's not very interesting. And I really want it to be fun. So I was thinking maybe of going with like red and green or something like that. So if you have some ideas, just send them to my email and let me know what you think. Or if you have any great ideas. All right. And there is the last block, you guys. We did it. Yay. Look at that point. I'm so proud of myself. Pat, 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 pat. Okay. Ladies, thank you very much. Let's see. Always that one. 3 times a charm. That's right. I know. Okay. So thank y'all very much for today. One more time so I can get a little bit closer. That is my email address for the business. That is my YouTube. Please, go online and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. So anytime I get a video done that pertains to, especially to what we're working on, you're going to want to know it's there and you're going to want to see it. Granted, I finished the other one last night about 11 o'clock at night, but it was available all day this morning as well. And again, if you need me to send you the templates, I need your email address for that, and I will send you the PDF. Just remember, at the bottom of the pictures, there is a little 1-inch mark. You want to try and blow that up or shrink it so that that mark is 1 inch long from one end to the other end, and that will tell you that that template should be the right size. Okay. If you're local, I am more than happy to drop off a full set of templates to you. with the rotary cutting instructions and with the design, the block design on it as well. Anything else I can do for you, you just email me, private message me. Any way that you can get a hold of me is fine. I try to check it all day long at different times during the day. So, you know, if you don't hear from me right away, don't worry. I will be checking it, just maybe not right at that moment. And I'm always happy to help, always happy to answer a question if you have one. All right, y'all, this has been such a pleasure. I don't see anything else popping up yet on there. This has been great for me. I can't wait. Tomorrow we start to get into the, we're going to do the 9-patch block. And that one is a little trickier, a little more fun. And it's probably going to take a little bit longer. What time have we got now? Not too bad. We only took an hour and 10 minutes. But it is definitely going to be a little more time consuming. So plan on spending a little more time than an hour tomorrow, because it will involve a little bit more time. But the more we can get cut out and the templates done tonight, the better it'll be. So I will get right to work after lunch, after dinner. I will get right to work on that video to help you get that cut out so that you either have it tomorrow to work on or tonight. I'll do my best to get it done as early as possible. Miss Sheila, I will get with you on when it's best to come over. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow morning-ish. But let me know. Okay, we'll find out. All right. Y'all, thank you very much. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see tonight what you have accomplished with your blocks. Take your time. Enjoy it. It's going to be fun. And you guys have a fantastic night. Enjoy your dinner.